And the odds are that some young whippersnapper going to pop up between now and 2016 that will move her off of center stage. But until that happens, everybody is now on board with Mrs. Clinton as the next Democrat nominee and thus the next president of the United States, which sets up the sound bites which are coming up next. Let's go back. December 17th. 2007 on this program, because this sets up what comes next.
Everybody's trying to make themselves look different, and in that situation, in that case, they think they're making themselves look better. It's just the way our culture has evolved. It's the way the country is. It's almost an addiction that some people have to what I call the perfection that Hollywood presents of successful, beautiful, fun-loving people. So the question is this: will this country want to actually watch a woman get older before their eyes on a daily basis?
And I was discussing Mrs. Clinton there, and it's 2007. It's her upcoming presidential campaign. And I was talking about, it was a sympathetic statement, by the way, but it was talking about the obsession that our culture has with youth and model-like waif-thin beauty, which everybody knows exists. The thigh gap, have you heard of the thigh gap? That's the latest rage among young girls. That's when young girls are standing, either nude or in a bikini, with their knees together. There is a gap between the thighs and the upper regions. It is highly desired. Mrs. Clinton obviously does not have that. Very few women do. But it is what people are shooting for. And I was talking about, do the American people, will the American people want to vote for somebody, a woman, and actually watch a woman get older before their eyes on a daily basis? I was asking this in straight up political analysis. Now, understandably, this caused a tornado in the drive-by media. The next day and the day after, the media literally had a fit. Because even though my question was asked in a sympathetic way, the whole monologue, don't have time to play the whole thing, was delivered in a sympathetic way to middle-aged and older women. The media nevertheless went batty, and I'll play that coming up. Okay, after asking the question, after a sympathetic, you have to trust me on this. And those of you who were listening back in 2007, remember, it was this, I can't believe it's 6 years ago. But nevertheless, I delivered a sympathetic monologue, Mrs. Clinton, presidential aspirations, and does the country want to watch? Given preoccupation with looking perfect on the tube. The sympathetic aspects of my monologue totally missed. They heard only in the media an insult to Mrs. Clinton. Here's just a sample of December 18th and 19th of 2007 of the media outrage.
Rush Limbaugh put it, will the country want to actually watch a woman get older before their eyes on a daily basis?
Sexism hits the campaign trail as Rush Limbaugh asks if voters want to stare at an aging woman as president.
A story that's expected to reverberate throughout the day, the question of sexism in politics.
The stuff that Rush Limbaugh has been saying is totally over the line, is sort of generating some sympathy.
Rush Limbaugh is not the arbiter of what's good taste or what American opinions or morals should be.
Please, this is so sexist.
And, of course, it was so dumb, ignorant, and short-sighted of all of those people who never even endeavored to find out what I was actually saying. And that I had delivered a sympathetic monologue. Remember, it was I, on this program, it came up Operation Chaos, to try to save her candidacy in 2008. Anyway, last night, lo and behold, on CNN, Aaron Burnett out front talking with a Democrat strategist, Kiki McLean. I think it used to be Kiki Moore. Kiki got married to somebody named McLean, and they were talking about Hillary running for president again. because that is the Democrat Party, theme. It's if we're finally going to let Hillary have it. And so they're talking about this, and Aaron Burnett brought this up in a shocking way.
What about what Rush Limbaugh said that made a lot of people really mad? But you know what? It made him mad because at the time he said it, it was probably true. Here's what he said.
Will Americans want to watch a woman get older before their eyes on a daily basis?
That's what he said of Hillary Clinton kicking back in 2007. And you know what? There was a truth in that. Has that changed?
She is saying that the reason people got mad is because there was truth in it. It was a legitimate question. And she's asking Kiki McClain, Democrat strategist, if that has changed. And so here's what Kiki McClain had to say.
There will always be people who care more about what's on the skin than what's in the brain. But the reality is most Americans are going to pick who serves them based on what they believe they can do for them and the kind of leader they can be. And I think if we spend all our time thinking about how someone's hair looks, what the hem on somebody's skirt may or may not be, that doesn't really get to the issues.
This from a woman representing a party that doesn't see anything but the skin and its color, and doesn't see anything but the gender, and then its orientation. This from a party which has to acknowledge that one of the reasons Obama was elected was because he's black, and a lot of white people thought they could erase racism forever from the American existence by showing they weren't racist anymore by voting for a black guy. Kiki McClain actually wants to talk about there will be people who care more about what's on the skin than what's in the brain. She's just defining her party.